Hey everybody, it's Paige Evans and I'm so excited to be the guest designer for Laura Alberts and Miranda Weber for their Scrap Madness YouTube series. They're doing a video a day, so it's super awesome. Check it out. I'll leave links below. And on this layout, I am featuring teeny tiny rolled paper flowers. So if you don't have my rolled paper flowers, you can open up Silhouette Design Store and search for Paige Evans rolled flowers, and I have 9 different rolled flowers. 8 of them pop up here at the top. It might not be in this order. I wonder if every computer is different, but I'm just showing you which ones are mine. And then you scroll down and there's one more, this pink flower. So add them to your cart. Since they're my own designs, I don't have to pay for them, but usually they're about $1 each. If you have a subscription, they might be free. Anyway, so type your password, submit, and then you should be able to find them in your Silhouette Studio. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Silhouette Studio. Might take a little bit to open up. My computer's kind of slow. I need a new one. Alright, so in Silhouette Studio, I'm just going to enlarge it so it takes up my whole screen. Just a sec. Alright, if you go into your library and start typing rolled flower. I have others besides my own, but there they are. There's 9 of them, and so what I did is I clicked on them one at a time and I sized them to just under 2 inches. And to help with that, I turned on the grid. So show grid, there we go. And again, sized them to smaller than 2 inches, and that's what I did for all 9 designs, and then I copied and pasted to fill up the entire page. And I'm using one of the pattern papers from my whimsical collection with pink paisley, which has rectangles of different patterns and colors. And so I'm only going to have to send this cut file through my machine once, and it'll cut out all of these designs. So that's super awesome. All right, but I'm still showing you how I'm placing these rolled flowers and shrinking them to just under 2 inches. All right, so here is the filled up page with all of these rolled flowers. And then here is the pattern paper that I'm using. It's paper 19 from Whimsical, see, with all of these different rectangles of colors and patterns. And then back in Studio, I'll send it to my machine. So I'm using a ratchet blade. That's just the blade that I prefer. Pattern paper, a speed of 5. Force of 30, and I have my blade actually at 6, a depth of 6. Then click send, and it takes just under 10 minutes for the machine to cut all of these out. I'm using a brand new mat, and I'm using a brand new blade too, just to make sure everything cuts crisply. Alright, so grab one of the rolled flowers, and they're called rolled flowers because you roll them up. So starting at one end, start rolling it up as tightly as you can, and then once you get to the end, let it unfurl a little bit, uncurl, and then add a dab of hot glue to the back and spread it out. So I'll show you one more time so that, you learn best by repetition. So starting at the outer end, start rolling it up tightly, roll, 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 all the way to the middle. Let it uncurl a little bit, add a dab of hot glue to the back. Put that protective piece over it. Try not to burn your fingers in the process. And then bend the edges and fluff them up to create dimension and make them look more like flowers. So I ended up needing more flowers, right? Once you start, you can't stop. And so I went through my whimsical collection and cut a 2-inch square from every single pattern paper, front and back. So I ended up with 48 squares. So I'm covering them on another sticky mat and running it through my machine once again. Curled up all of those flowers, not curled up, but rolled up all of those flowers, and so I ended up with a ton of tiny paper flowers. This is another one of my cut files. It's a floral heart, and I cut it out of smooth white cardstock. And then I cut out the inner piece and I offset it so that it's slightly larger, and I'm using liquid adhesive to add it to the back so that the center of the heart will also be white. I'm using this dark pink crosshatch pattern paper for my background, but before I start gluing things in place, I want to splash some white acrylic paint onto the background just to add a little interest. So it's just white craft acrylic paint, which I watered down so that it splashes a little bit better. Tap, tap, tap with the Vicky Bouton brush. And I think to speed it up I used a hairdryer, but I did that off camera. I adhered the flower heart to the background, and then I'm going to start placing the flowers to see if I like them. I'm adding a yellow flower to the center of every cut file flower, and then 5 more rolled paper flowers around each of the yellow flowers. And so I'm liking how this is looking, so I'm going to go ahead and start adhering things down. And once again, I'm going to use this glue gun. It's a cordless glue gun, which is a game changer. I don't have that pesky cord in the way. So I'm using the hot glue gun to attach the yellow flowers to the center of each cut file flower, and then gluing 5 more rolled paper flowers, just 1 on each petal. So that's pretty easy. You don't necessarily need the cut file to do this. I just wanted kind of a template for placing these rolled paper flowers. It just helps make things a little bit easier as far as placement. So I've glued down all of the flowers on the top right side. I'm going to start gluing them on the bottom left side of the flower heart. And then I used a new package of my whimsical floral and leaf die cuts, and I started tucking the leaves here and there. I actually ended up not using those lime green, bright green ones. I thought they were a little bit too neon, and those are from my Horizon collection with pink paisley, those neon, well, the bright green ones. So I ended up taking those off, but at the moment I'm just tucking them underneath the flowers, creating more texture and dimension. Use glue dots to attach those in place. And then I'm using a trio of square black and white photos of me and Jane and tucking them underneath. Time to embellish. So again, using my whimsical collection and the 6x12 stickers, I'm adding some sentiment stickers on each photograph. Adds a pop of color, ties in the colors of the flowers and also their sweet sentiments that really go along with the photos. So best friends, better together, happy, love this, just the 2 of us, perfect for these mother-daughter photos. I need 1 more because there's 2 on those upper 2 photos, so I need 2 stickers on this bottom photo, and so I ended up using a puffy sticker that says, "Oh, what a day." There are some rub-ons in the whimsical collection which have a lot of stitching details, and so I'm going to cut out and apply some stitching rub-ons below each photo. So they've got that protective layer on the back, taking that off and then applying the rub-ons. This is a specialty rub-on tool that I got from American Crafts probably a dozen years ago. You could also use your fingers. These rub on like butter, so that's really nice. Once the rub-ons are rubbed on, I think the next step is adding journaling. I was going to try and do it with a ruler, but then the flowers were kind of just in the way, so I freehanded it with a pencil first. Decided I liked the placement right there, so I didn't even write the journaling first with the pencil. I just went ahead and started writing it with a black pen. So I underlined it with the same black pen, and that, my friends, is the finished layout. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer to the camera so you can see these flowers up close in detail. I just love the dimension. I'll probably get asked if this will fit in a page protector, and yes, but it's going to take up a lot of room in my scrapbook, and that's okay. I loved making them. I love the dimension and detail that they add. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to watch the other videos in this Scrap Madness series by Laura Alberts and Miranda Weber. Again, I will leave links below. All right, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.